Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be all about overcoming hair objections. So no matter what industry you're in, I'm sure you have experienced objections because objections are a part of the selling process. I was researching something the other day and they were saying something along the lines of you receive an average of, I think, like 5 or 6 no's before you get your first yes. And so in that sense, I like to look at how many contacts you make as a numbers game. If you've ever done any mentoring with me, any business consulting, then you know if you've mentioned wanting to increase your website traffic, increase sales, one of the avenues that I use to do organic marketing is actually reaching out to a set number of people each day. Because the idea that you get more no's before you get the yes is definitely a reality in a lot of startup businesses. If not, I want to say all, but I know there are some businesses with an exception to the average rule, but it's very common for people to say no. And some of the ways that people may say no if you're in e-commerce is by going to your website and deciding to not do anything. Some other ways they may say no is by going to your website, adding some things to their cart, and then abandoning the cart. Some other ways that they may say no is by reaching out to you, asking questions, asking if you have certain lengths or textures available, and then deciding to not say anything else back or not continue on with the purchase. Some other ways include sending out invoices and then the invoices not being paid. So there's just different ways that people are able to say no when you're working through social media or through e-commerce. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some ways that you can overcome those objections. Because although no's will come in business, there are some ways that you can prevent having as many no's stick. Initially, someone may say, no, I'm not interested, or they may not continue with their abandoned cart. But there are ways that you can reach back out, providing information and having your potential customers and clients feel comfortable enough to purchase, and also being able to overcome their concerns, their hesitations. And so that's all overcoming objections are all about. It's all about relationship building and being able to bridge the gap between what's keeping your customer or potential customers from not actually solidifying that sale and moving forward with the process. So the first, I'm looking down at my phone because I have my notes here. The first objection that I'm going to go over is not sure if the textures will match. So if you're selling hair, you may have gotten a couple people stating that they don't know if they want to purchase or not because they don't know if the textures are going to match their real hair. It's always important to ask open-ended questions. Why? Because it gives you more insight as to what your specific potential customer or client is looking for. So I would ask those discovery questions that will lead into conversation and then offer alternatives. So if someone is coming to me, and let's say they go on the website, matter of fact, let's not even say they come to me personally. They go on the website and they're looking at Mongolian Deep Wave and they're like, hey, I don't know if the Mongolian Deep Wave is going to blend with my texture. There are some questions I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask what style they're looking to accomplish, because some people are looking to accomplish like a full sew-in type of look, and they may not even know that or not even be thinking that their texture doesn't necessarily have to blend for a full sew-in, depending on how you do the sew-in or whoever, your stylist does the sew-in. But there are ways that you can get different textures, different colored extensions. And if you have a full sew-in, you really don't have to worry about blending because your hair is going to be covered up and you're just going to have the extensions exposed. So a full sew-in, leave out, that may be a solution. Also, being able to ask them to send pictures of what their hair texture looks like, and then being able to show them what your texture looks like, and also ways that you can manipulate the texture to have the texture match their hair better. So for example, when I was wearing leave out with my deep wave extensions, my natural hair texture doesn't blend in seamlessly with them unless I do some manipulation. So depending on how much leave out I had out, sometimes I'd be able to get away with doing like a braid out before I went to sleep. Sometimes I'd be able to get away with wearing my hair like twisted on each side, so that I wouldn't have to really worry about blending it in the morning. I just wore like those 2 twists in the front that connected in the back, or braids. Sometimes I would do bangs. A lot of times I would do bangs, and then I would have my bangs flat ironed into the other bangs, and then the curly or deep wave extensions exposed in the back. So it just kind of depends on what style, but giving people an idea and helping them visualize how those extensions can really work for their hair texture and for whatever style they're desiring is really going to help secure a lot of sales. But it's important that you reach out and ask those questions, because if you can't paint a picture, it's going to sometimes lead to people not purchasing or feeling comfortable enough to purchase because they don't know. And then you're going to have times where you paint the picture perfectly and you give your customers or clients an option to actually view the hair in different styles or from different pictures and on your social media in different styles. Like you may have a picture of the deep wave extensions flat ironed, and you may have a picture of the deep wave extensions in its natural state, and you may have another picture of it really defined with water and conditioner. So, and then you may do a really great job, like I mentioned, and still get a no, still get an abandoned cart, or still get a ghosted invoice, okay, or an unpaid invoice. However, you're knowing you're still doing everything that you can. Also, it's really important to know your products and how to manipulate the hair that you're selling. That's why I recommend when you first get started selling hair extensions, don't beat yourself up if you don't offer every single texture. I'm really big on making sure that I stand behind my product. So I'm not going to have 20 different extensions just because I haven't tried out 20 different extensions. And I want to make sure that whatever I'm selling, I stand behind. And in order for me to stand behind, I have to have tried the extensions. And, there's one thing where I can have my family and friends try them out, because I thought about that too. I'm like, you know what, I have enough people that I know where I can send them different hair to try and tell me their experience or their opinion. But everyone has their own way of how they want to run their business. But me personally, I want to be able to attest to how the hair reacts with certain conditions, how the hair reacts with certain products, how the hair blends best with this certain hair texture, how the hair looks in its natural state, how the hair feels after you've worn it all day. How do you experience it? How much shedding is involved? So things like that. And although those can be they can vary based on everyone's experience, I wanted to make sure I had that experience so that I can fully speak on behalf of my extensions. So it's really important to know the extensions and the products that you offer so that you can answer those questions confidently and also paint a picture. If you don't really know how your hair extensions react to certain conditions, products, how it blends with certain textures, it's going to be even more challenging for you to paint a picture that you don't even see. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then also considering frontals and closures. If someone is looking or really concerned about blending their extensions, and the picture that they send over of the style that they're looking for can be achieved with a closure or frontal, be sure to let them know that as well, because it's our job to do what we can to solve the problem, to bridge the gap. And if there's another solution that we can offer, why not do it? I feel like we're not doing our full job if we're not giving out all the different options and solutions. So the next objection that you may get being in the hair industry is one of your customers or clients may be undecided on a length. So some of the solutions would be to send over a hair chart. Sometimes I have people that chat on my website and they say, hey, I do want to purchase these body wave bundles. I just don't know what length to order. I'm 5'3". Where do you think 16-inch will fall on me? And everybody, even if you are a certain height, like everybody has a different build. So one person that's 5'3" may their extensions may fall like right here to them, where another person their extensions may fall like right here. It really just depends. So what I do is I like to create visuals. I send over a hair chart. You can find a hair chart by going to Google, and all you have to do is Google like hair inches chart or hair inch chart, and different charts will pop up, and you can send that over to them to see if that gives them a better idea. I'm 5'8", but I also have other people that have purchased from me that are 5'8", and our extensions fall on us differently, even if we pick the same length. So it gives you a somewhat of an idea, but I would let them know that. I can't tell you for sure because everyone's build is different, and so the inches fall on everyone differently. However, I'm going to send you over a hair inch chart that can give you a visual of around the place that your hair may fall. Also, ask additional questions to figure out why they're so undecided on a length. Besides knowing where the extensions are going to fall, some people are concerned with the length of the extensions because they're associating that with cost and they don't want to spend over X amount of dollars, or they don't have X amount of dollars to spend. So you may want to ask some additional questions to figure out exactly what the deep concern is. If they're saying, hey, I really want 24-inch bundles, but right now I can just afford your 18-inch, then you want to go over some different options too. If you offer buy now, pay later. If you don't, I strongly recommend that you offer that. There are so many companies that are offering it to the point that it's kind of like it's all automatically assumed, I feel like, from a lot of customers to be able to do a buy now, pay later option. I feel like it's going to help increase more sales because people like options, and it's going to give you more leverage as far as how many people you can work with if they're not wanting to purchase just straight through. So offer buy now, pay later options if you offer that, and then also offer different textures that are in their price range. So typically when you're looking at hair businesses, you may notice that like the deep wave extensions may be more expensive than straight, just not all the time, but a lot of times you may see that the rate for extensions differ depending on the texture and the curl pattern. And so if you're looking at, if someone is looking at getting longer lengths, and let's say they're looking at body wave, you may want to offer your straight and let them know different ways that they can achieve the look that they're going for, maybe flexi rods, just different ideas and different visuals to see if this is something they want to go along with to give them that length they're looking for, and then another way that they can achieve the look that they're looking for at a lower price. So we want to make sure that we're overcoming objections and being creative. That's another part of overcoming concerns, is by being creative on how we position different alternatives. Another objection that you may get is shipping is too long. So you may want to offer expedited shipping with a higher shipping fee. So you may want to do something like, hey, I can have your hair delivered in 2 business days, but shipping isn't going to be the standard shipping fee. It's actually going to be this to have it delivered, because it does cost more to expedite shipping. You also may want to explain the benefits of why they should wait. So if it's something where you don't offer expedited shipping, it's okay. What I've done in the past is I've explained the benefits of waiting. When I offer sales, I set the right expectation that shipping can be longer, up to a week longer, because I'm getting, typically with sales, a higher influx of orders. And so I'm all about setting the right expectation. I don't want to be unprepared where I'm telling everyone I'm going to send their hair out the next day or in 3 business days, and then I sell out of hair, maybe not even online, but maybe in person too. And now people are expecting their hair in 3 days, and I don't have any hair to send out. I'm waiting on a shipment from my vendor. So it's important to set the right expectation, like I say in pretty much all of my business videos. And aside from that, you also want to make sure that you are selling the benefits of why it's important to wait. There are some companies that I will wait for their products versus going to the store and getting it today, either because of the quality, because of the design, sometimes because of the sale they're offering. So you want to pick what benefit you want to lead with. And the way that you choose what you want to lead with is based on what the customer told you. So whatever they're interested in, if they could come to you and say, hey, I really want to order from you because I love your quality, I've ordered from you, or my friend ordered from you last summer, we love those extensions, then you want to lead with the quality. This is why it's worth the wait. And also let them know that you're going to send it out as soon as you can, but you don't want to guarantee that you can have it delivered by tomorrow or in 3 days, because you don't want to set the wrong expectation. But you will ship it out as soon as you can, and your shipping time is blank to blank days. And a lot of times people will respect that because they also respect the fact that you're being upfront and honest, and you're letting them know that you're still wanting to get them their product as soon as possible, but you want to give them the right expectation, and it's going to take X amount of days to get there. Okay, so the next objection that you may, or the next concern that you may get, and the next objection that you may want to work through is unsure of quality. So if a customer is unsure of your quality, you can offer samples. And when I say offer samples, I'm not saying that you necessarily have to give out samples for free, because you don't. I offer samples. I've been offering samples for years, and people still purchase samples. So you can include samples with purchases. You can send out samples. If you're a local business, you can have people come in and view your extensions if you'd like, or you can sell samples. For example, my sample kit, I sell a sample kit where you can get 4 full 12-inch bundles of all the textures that I offer delivered to you. That way you can do your own testing. You can actually see how the bundles look. You can take pictures for your business. A lot of my drop shipping clients do that. That way they have hair to promote and advertise, and they don't have to be limited to just stock photos when they're posting on social media, or stock photos when they're sharing with their friends and potential customers and clients what textures they offer. There are people that purchase the sample kit and then they take it to their salon with them and they show their clients what textures they offer. It also gives you the option to be able to see what texture matches what client's hair texture as well, and it gives them an opportunity to look at them as well. Someone may be undecided between Mongolian Deep Wave and Mongolian Kiki Curly, and then you having the textures right there in front of them gives them a better idea. Also, share reviews. If you have reviews of your products on social media, if someone sent you an email, a text message, of course, make sure their personal information is blocked out. But you can share your reviews. You can record an in-person video of the texture. I've done that a lot. Some people have asked, hey, what color does your blonde body wave look like in real life? Because sometimes in pictures, the blonde can look differently than it actually looks in real life. So what I would do is that sometimes I do like FaceTimes, or I used to do a lot of FaceTimes. Sometimes I would record a video. Sometimes I would share videos that I've already recorded just to give them an idea of what it looks like in person, as close as I can give them without them actually, being with me. And then also you can describe the quality. So if someone's asking about certain, parts of your hair or points of the hair, they may say, are there a lot of beards on the wefts? And if you're getting questions that you don't know the answers to, don't be afraid to go to your vendor. That's why I stress it's super important to have a relationship with your vendor, because you want to be able to work with someone in business that you can go back to and ask questions. You don't want to feel like you're annoying them, or they're going to get upset, or they're not going to get back to you within a good time frame, because that's going to affect that could affect your customer service. So if you're waiting on an answer from your vendor and you can't get back to your customer until your vendor gets back to you, but your vendor doesn't get back to you until like 5 days, and then you get back to your customer in like 5 or 6 days, that customer may have already gone and purchased with someone else. So you want to make sure that you have a good relationship and a reliable vendor where you can keep consistent communication. But if someone's asking about the quality and you want to be very specific in your answers, be sure to check with your vendor if you don't know, and ask them, hey, what does this mean? Hey, what grade am I offering? Hey, some people don't even know what type of hair they're selling. They just order hair because they like the way it looked. So be sure to ask those questions. That way you can better assist your potential customers and clients. So those are some ways to overcome some hair objections. I really hope that they helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I do want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.